No, no, no. Alarm clock.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, can you hear my voice? Arpita, Rakshita, Shalini, Harsha, Aishwarya, Sanket, Anjali, very good. Okay. So regarding yesterday's assignment, I gave you an assignment and almost your response, I had a tremendous response from all of you. So almost your messages were flooded like anything. So almost by those messages, I think more than 300 plus messages I got, and almost my cell was totally hanged up. So it totally jammed. Okay, so very tremendous response from all of you. Very good, very fine. Keep it up. Okay. Yes, Aditya. Right. Very good response. Yeah, I was surprised with all your. I was unable to read your messages also. So they were flowing like a bullet. Okay, so very good response from all of you. Okay. Yes, Sadashiv. Very fine. Okay. So keep responding, keep reading, then be lively. Okay, because we are living and we are studying biology. So that's why biology should be interesting only, because as we are living in the living world, we should enjoy, we should be lively. Okay, let us not sit dull and dim in the class. Let us be active. Okay, hope you all had a nice food. Okay, so lunch is over, sitting in front of the screen. Okay, so our class will be hardly around 30 minutes. Okay, so be active, right? Yes. Okay, so some of you are asking about the scientific name of teak. Teak is a Tectona grandis. Tectona grandis, right? And one correction, as your response was very nice, very good. As you are, it was the first day only, so first day almost a drastic change I saw in all of you. Okay, so teak, yes, teak is a Tectona grandis. Okay, and need not bother about all these scientific names. Try to identify it. Okay, I just gave you an assignment, because search anywhere. Okay, search from anywhere. So just try to get the answer. So that was the major intention. Okay, so in the today's class, let us see, as we have studied regarding the basics, as we are studying about the basics also. So in this foundational classes, so let us go across few examples. Samarth, Chikalki, you can't hear me. Okay, check your network, right? And sit in that place where you get good network. Fine, Samarth. Okay. Yes. Now, as we are talking about the species, various different types of the species, we came across binomial nomenclature, and with respect to that, we came across few discussion of the few examples there. Now let's, what we do is, let's say that we are in the living world. Okay, so when I say we are in the living world, then the question comes, what exactly is living? Yes, what exactly is living? I am living, you are also living, plants are living, other animals are living. Yes, can we say air is living, water is living? Yes, light is living? No. Yes, correct, fine. Now when we say living, it should show some response, and you know the basic definition of the living. So that is regarding the living organisms. That means if we say an organism is living, so what should the character it possess? So what should be its characters? When we say an organism is living, then what characters should it possess? Yes, very good. Yes, your answer is very right. Seema, Pratiksha, Kavana, Rakesh, correct. So what it should show? It should show growth. Then it should show reproduction. Then it should show a response to external stimuli. Then metabolism. So all these are the characters of living. Yes, definitely respiration also. It should show respiration. Yes, excretion. Yes, all these are included. So I have quoted only few characters here. So when we say living, Vishwadeep, if we say movement, then we can move, birds can move, animals, other animals can move. But how about the plants? Can you think over it? Shaker, correct. Consciousness. Vani, sensitivity. Pratiksha, transpiration. Yes, you have to think in all the ways where, yes, Mallikarjun, metabolism, Kannada meaning ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Metabolism ಅಂತಂದ್ರ it's nothing but it's a breakdown of certain substances in our body. For example, glucose is broken down to produce energy. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಏನಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ? ಎನರ್ಜಿಯಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ. ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನಾಗ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದ? ATP, ಅಡಿನೋಸಿನ್ ಟ್ರೈಫಾಸ್ಫೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೀಮಾ, ಛಾಯಾ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? So even for me also it's very difficult to recall with the Kannada meaning of metabolism. Okay, so you can just tell to your friends. Chaya pachaya, samartha pachana kriya allo adu digestion agtada. Okay, right. So later on you will get the meaning also. Okay, don't bother about that. Now growth should be there. The organism should grow. Correct. Shaker, correct. Kavana, correct. Mahesh, correct. Okay, so growth. Now in what terms it should show the growth? So when we say across growth, in what terms it should show the growth? Yes, it should increase in the size. Growth means it should increase in the size. Then only we say it is growth. ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ತೋರಿಸಬೇಕಾ? ಯಾವುದೇ ಜೀವಿಗಳಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಯಾವುದೊಂದು ಕಲ್ಲು ನಾವು ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ ಕಲ್ಲು ಬೆಳೀತದ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸೈಜ್? ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು? ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್, ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಬಂದು ಡಿಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹಲವಾರು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಡಿಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು. ಎಸ್, ಸಮ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ದಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ we can say it as extrinsic growth. For example, sand hills or sand molds, ಒಂದು ಮರಳು ಗೂಡು ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಮರಳಿನ ಹಿಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದ. Through the wind the sand may go and deposit. That is also said to be growth, but we cannot say it is living. Yes, that type of growth is extrinsic only, right? But growth refers to intrinsic growth, internal growth. Okay, ಅಂದ್ರ ದೇಹದ ಒಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಹೊಂದಬೇಕು. That's why we call it as the growth. And growth is nothing but it is an irreversible increase in size of an organism. That means once if you grow, you cannot reduce your height. Understood? Okay, once if you grow, you cannot reduce your height. So this you know. Okay, very well known. Then the organism should reproduce. Second part is the reproduction. Why they should reproduce? To continue the generation. So it is to continue generation. To continue the generation, to continue the race, it has to reproduce. A response to external stimulus. We also respond, plants also respond. How do you respond? Okay, response to external stimuli. Now suppose if your friend pinches you, ಯಾರಾದರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಚೂಟಿದಾಗ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ, ವಾಪಸ್ ನಿಮ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಕಳಿಸಿರ್ತೈತಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಇಸ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ವಾಪಸ್ ಚೂಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಎ ಆಕ್ಷನ್. ಎಸ್, ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಸಂಬರ್ಗಿ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತದ, ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ರೈಸ್. ಓಕೆ, so this is response to external stimuli. That means animals will respond. Then how about the plants? Does the plant show response? Yes, they do. They do. The best example you have in front of your eyes, yaudadu? Touch me not, muttidare muni. Yes, touch me not plant is there, which will respond. That even other plants, they can respond to the sunlight also. Okay, fine, correct. Metabolism. All the living organism will show metabolism. This metabolism, it includes two processes actually. One is catabolism and second one is anabolism. Catabolism means a breakdown process, breaking process. Anabolism is a construction process. For example, when glucose gets broken down, then ultimately it is a catabolism. Catabolism breaking down on the karitive energy agಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Anabolism constructive work ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Whenever we have the food, ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಿರ್ಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್. ಆ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗಿ it provides the glucose packets to all the cells, and after that excess of glucose is stored. Nam body that storage agtava in the form of glycogen. That means it forms the reserve food. Adu reserve food agtava. Whenever it is necessary, it is utilized. Then apart from this, Pawan, catabolism Kannada meaning. Okay, catabolism breaking down ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಕನ್ನಡ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ನ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಪ್ಪ. Catabolism, anabolism. Catabolism breaking down, ಒಡೆಯುವುದು. Anabolism ಕಟ್ಟುವುದು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಇದು ದೇಹದಾಗ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ ಎರಡು ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳು. So both the process occurs in body itself. Yes, anyone the meaning of catabolism and anabolism in Kannada? Mahesh, ಅಪಚಯ ಅಂತಂದು ಹಾಕಿದನು. Okay, just check remaining all, because most of the Kannada even I have learned from you these terms. ಅಪಚಯ ಅಂತಂದು ಮಹೇಶ್ ಹಾಕಿದನು. ಅನಾಬೋಲಿಸಮ್, yes, anabolism is constructive work. Okay, so formation of glucose in a reverse way, it's a constructive work. Yes, Mallikarjun, ತುಂಡುವಿಕೆ ಅದು ಆಡ ಭಾಷೆ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅದ. Yes, okay, later on you can go through that. Okay, so this is regarding few characters of living. Now, why we came across these terms. ಇಳಿ ಮಾರ್ಪು ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ್ ಇಳಿ ಮಾರ್ಪು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನ, ಅದು ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದ? ಕೆಟಾಬಲಿಸಮ್ ಅನಾಬಲಿಸಮ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಎಸ್, ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ later on you will understand. Okay, need not to worry about that. Okay. Now this is regarding the basics what I gave you regarding the living world. Then apart from this, let's move on to the next one. Now, as far as the living organisms is concerned, the living organism has to be classified. The living organisms has to be classified. Then how the classification is done? How the classification of the living organism is done? Yes, Rakshita, can you hear me now? Now earlier, to identify the organisms, so classification of organisms. Now how the animals or the birds or plants have been classified? How the living organisms have been classified? Now for the classification of the organisms, we require the study of all the animals that are present in the nature. So that's why the classification of an organism also becomes one of the important component. Yes, okay. Now there was a confusion earlier, almost in the 1700th century. There was not much idea about the biological classification. Okay, ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಜೀವಿಗಳನ್ನು ವಿಂಗಡಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು. How the animals has to be classified. Then later on, as the technology developed, we came to know how the classification has to be done. Okay, but earlier in the classification of the organism, so there was a two kingdom classification. There was a two kingdom classification. Which was given by this two kingdom classification was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Then what are those two kingdoms? Can anyone say? Correct. Yes, two kingdom classification. It was which was given by Carolus Linnaeus was kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Okay, so these were the two kingdoms. Okay, so earlier this type of two kingdom classification was done by Carolus Linnaeus. Linnaeus Kota, third kingdom. Okay, ಒಂದು ಸಸ್ಯ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so kingdom Plantae, when we come across kingdom Plantae, it includes all the plants of the world, all the plants of the globe. Kingdom Animalia, it includes all the animals of the globe. Vishwanath, wait. Okay, we will go to that type of kingdoms also. So earlier, so only two kingdom classification were there. But the question came. Now, Plantae Animalia, it was a blind technique. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಲಿನಿಯಸ್ ಜಗತ್ತು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ, ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವಾಗ ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಗಲ್ತೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೆ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ, ಇದು ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಗಲ್ತೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅನಿಮೇಲಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ he randomly choosed all the organisms and he has just classified these organisms into two kingdoms. ಎರಡು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಆಗಿ ವಿಂಗಡಣೆ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟ. Okay, but that was not satisfied. It was not satisfied. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಎರಡು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Some were showing this character also, that character also, some were little bit different also. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಯಿತು. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ 2 ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಬಂತು. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಎ ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಅವಾಗ ಅನ್ಸಿದ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್ ಈ 2 ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಯಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್. ದೆನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ was introduced a 3 kingdom classification. So 3 kingdom classification came into existence, and such type of 3 kingdom classification was given by a person called as Ernst Haeckel. Then according to Ernst Haeckel, he gave a new kingdom called Kingdom Protista. Then the rest of the 2 kingdoms were kept as it is only. One was Kingdom Plantae and other was Kingdom Animalia. So these are the 3 kingdoms which was given by Ernst Haeckel. So 3 kingdom classification came into existence. Okay. Then regarding all this, ಈ kingdom ಒಳಗಡೆ Protista ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ, Plantae Animalia ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ, we will see it. ಅದನ್ನ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. I will tell you the examples also. Okay. So 3 kingdom ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಇದು. ವೇರ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ? ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಂಗಡಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Diatoms ಗಳನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಂಗಡಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Euglena, where it has to be placed? Then protozoans, where it has to be placed? That was a question. Unicellular organisms has to be classified. So that's why, because of that, what happened was the classification for the unicellular organisms came into existence by 3 kingdom classification that was given by Ernst Haeckel. So according to him, Kingdom Protista was newly introduced, which includes all the eukaryotic unicellular organisms. Okay. Then, okay, you can take the screenshot. I'll move a little bit. Next. Rakshita Ishwar, can you hear my voice now? Yes. Okay, you can take the screenshot. Okay. Then after that, yes, Aishwarya, correct. After that came a 4 kingdom classification. And such type of 4 kingdom classification, this was given by Copeland. And according to him, the kingdoms that were placed, look at the kingdoms here. This Copeland, he has introduced Monera, Kingdom Monera. Okay, then came Kingdom Protista. Then Kingdom Plantae. And then Kingdom Animalia. Okay. Now can you see how many are there? Yes. Copeland is name of the person who discovered it, Pawan. Copeland, Vyakti hesaru. Yes. So 4 kingdom classification, this was given by Copeland, right? Name of a person who discovered it, right? Carolus Linnaeus, he discovered it. It is the name of the person. Okay. Yes, this is 4 kingdom classification. Then here what was introduced? Monera. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಹೊಸ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಬಂತು ಮೊನೆರಾ. ಮೊನೆರಾ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನ್ ಬಂತು? ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ. ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತವು? Yes, where are bacteria present? Bacteria ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾವ? ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಾಗ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಾಗ ಇರ್ತಾವ. Yes, where they are found? Yes, they are found everywhere. They are found everywhere. Yes, correct. They are found everywhere. They are present in water, they are present in air, they are present in soil. Yes, correct. Then after that, it also did not satisfy all the things, but where to place the mushrooms? Mushrooms placement ಮಾಡುವುದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಯಿತು, ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವು ಯಾವ completely heterotrophic ಇತ್ತು. Then came one more kingdom where we call it as 5 kingdom classification. Then introduced was 5 kingdom classification. Okay, this 5 kingdom classification was given by R.H. Whitaker. Yes, so it was given by R.H. Whitaker. So according to him, the kingdoms were kingdom Monera, then kingdom Protista, then kingdom Plante, and finally came the kingdom Animalia. Okay, so this was the classification system. What was the necessity of yes, fungi? So after Protista, let us take, let us introduce here only. Kingdom Plante, and finally kingdom Animalia. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means the 5 kingdom classification ultimately satisfied most of the biologists, so that all the organisms has to be placed in the 5 kingdom system. That means Monera includes all the unicellular prokaryotic organisms. Protista includes all the unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Fungi, kingdom fungi includes all the eukaryotic heterotrophic organisms. This kingdom fungi is also called as kingdom Mycota. This is also called as kingdom Mycota. Okay. Then kingdom Plante, it includes all the organisms with eukaryotic nature of the plants. Especially they might be unicellular or multicellular. It includes multicellular, but some of the unicellular plants are also there, which belongs to, yes, Kavana fungi. Fungi ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತೀರಿ ನೀವು? ಫಂಗೈ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಫಂಗಸ್ ಬೆಳಿತದ, ಬೂಸ್ರನ್ ಬರದಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಂಗೈ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದರ ಕಾರಣ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಿ ನಾವು? ಎಸ್, ಫಂಗೈ ಆರ್ ಮೈಕೋಟ. ಶಿಲೇಂಧ್ರ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ, ಶಿಲೇಂಧ್ರ. ಎಸ್, ಸಮೇದ. ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಂಗಸ್. ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಫಂಗಸ್ ಬೇಕರಿದಾಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಫಂಗೈನೇ, which is used in preparation of the bread. Yes. Then kingdom Animalia. Yes, Animalia includes all the animals of the world. Okay, as you know it very well, right? So this is regarding the five kingdom classification. That means as the classification system goes on changing from time to time, what has happened in the organisms is we have to somehow, what we have to do is we have to classify the plants, animals and other organisms in such a way that they should fit in any of the kingdoms. ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಬೇರ್ಪಡಿಸಿ what is the necessity of classification of all the organisms? ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳನ್ನು, ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳನ್ನು, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? It is for the biologist, it is for the research work, it is for the development. Okay, now for example, I'll tell you one thing. Biotechnology, you have heard about biotechnology? Yes, biotechnology ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತವು ಏನು? We have, yes, we have got bacteria. Based on the bacteria as well as some of the bacterial enzymes, biotechnology has become successful. Suppose if there are no microorganisms, bacteria, ಜಗತ್ನಾಗ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾನೇ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಒಂದು ಮೊಸರು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ತಿನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಡೋಕ್ಲಾ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಸ್, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ. ಎಸ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ವಿದೌಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ, ವಿದೌಟ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್. ಶ್ರವಣ್ ಕುಮಾರ್, ಎಸ್, ಪನೀರ್. Okay, right. So whichever the foodstuffs that we prepare, Asmita, correct? Dosa aitu, idli aitu, vada aitu, yes, everything. Yes, correct. You esto food now miss ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, correct? Even cake also, because yeast is a unicellular fungus. ಅದು ಆ ಫಂಗಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಕೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬರ್ಡೇನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಎಸ್, ಪ್ರಣೀತ್ ಎರ್ದಾಳ ಲೆಮನ್ ಅಲ್ಪ, ಲೆಮನ್ ನಾವು ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಗೋಪಿ, ಚಪಾತಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ತಗೊಂಡು ಚಪಾತಿ ಮಾಡೋನು. ಎಸ್, ವಿಕಾಸ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ರೈಟ್? Yes, correct. Bacteria are necessary. So, yes, we even in our body, some of the microorganisms, bacteria are there. Then how about the organisms? After their death, they have to get decomposed. Suppose if these microorganisms are not there, then how they will decompose? How will get the space on the planet Earth? Yes, correct. So that's why we require the microorganisms in this nature. Yes, we require microorganisms in this nature, correct? So this is regarding the five kingdom classification. Even after the five kingdom classification also, Aishwarya, correct, whatever you are saying regarding three domain of life, Carl Lewis was given that. Now there was one more type where we call it as a six kingdom classification. Six kingdom. Additional kingdom was added here, which was given by Carl Lewis. And according to him, what he has did is, now he has did kingdom Archaebacteria, then kingdom Eubacteria. Then rest of the kingdom. Kingdom Protista, then kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, Kingdom Animalia. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, Carl Woos, what he has did is, so three domain system, we also call it as a three domain system. That means the first kingdom which was there here in the earlier classification, Monera. Monera antanu Monera ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈಗಾದರೂ ನಾವು Archaebacteria, Eubacteria study ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. He has divided into two kingdoms. ಎರಡು kingdom ಮಾಡಿದ. Yes, that's why Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, and next one is Eukarya ಅಂತ ಕರೆದವ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ eukaryotes, ಬಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುವುದು eukaryotes. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು three domain system ಅಂತಾನೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Carl Woos. Okay, now this is under proposal, and now what you are going to study here is you are going to study in this first year, you are going to study the 5 kingdom classification. The 5 kingdom classification that was proposed by R.H. Whitaker. Yes, you are going to study the 5 kingdom classification of R.H. Whitaker. First one is kingdom Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Okay, so you will be studying all this. Okay, now 6th kingdom classification that was given by Carl Woos. It is also called as 3 domain system. Adra 3 domain ಒಳಗಡೆ domain Archaebacteria, Eubacteria ಅಂತಂದು ಎರಡು ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾನ. ಬಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲ eukaryotes ಆಗ್ತವೆ. So prokaryotes, eukaryotes. So regarding these terms, regarding these meanings, we are going to discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay, ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. And I will tell you regarding the outline part of the 5 kingdom classification also. Hangidra illi ನಾವು ಏನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ in the today's class. So this we are going to study it in detail in our regular classroom also. So let me give you regarding outline part, outline classification. Okay, so if you have not taken the snapshot, you can take the snapshot here. Yes, yes, this is the first page. Yes, this is the first page. You can take the snapshots. Vijayashri, yesterday's notes, they are not notes, we are just discussing. Okay, you can just go on writing. Yes, the second page snapshot, if you want to take, if you have written, then no need to take. Okay, don't increase the memory of your mobile phones also. Okay, Rahul Montour, class timings will be decided by academicians. Yes, okay, this is the last one, last page. Okay, now this is regarding classification system. Now what you have to do is just go through the kingdoms. We are going to discuss 5 kingdom also, 5 kingdom classification only. Don't worry about the rest of the kingdoms. Just remember, we are going to start the 5 kingdom classification initially, and we are going to discuss all the kingdoms because all the organisms are included in these kingdoms only. Yes, throughout the globe, whichever the organisms are there, they are located here only, right? Okay, so let's end up our fabulous Friday, then we'll meet on a super Saturday. Okay, so thank you, good day, bye.